Top Gun Maverick earned $1.4 billion at the box office, and Tom Cruise was reputedly the one who saved Hollywood. Do you know how much the recent Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning earned? Only $553 million. Just to show how crazy the difference is, Mission Impossible has earned less than $942 million from Top Gun Maverick. That's a drop of 63%. $942 million. This difference itself is worth a great lifetime collection that any movie would give anything to achieve at the box office. You might say that Top Gun Maverick had a great recall value as it was releasing after 37 long years. Fair enough, but Mission Impossible is not new to the world too. It is a 27-year-old franchise with more than 6 movies in the addition. If Top Gun Maverick sounds like a bad comparison, you don't even have to look too far to realize that Dead Reckoning has in fact been performing really bad at the box office. So much so that it has not even reached a point where it could compete with its previous installment Mission Impossible Fallout, which earned $791 million. Dead Reckoning is trailing by $238 million. To make things worse, even the infamous family saga FastX was able to bring in more numbers than Dead Reckoning, standing around $704 million at the box office. With mammoth releases like Oppenheimer and Barbie, followed by Blue Beetle, it's unlikely that Dead Reckoning will even reach Fallout's total collection at the box office. Tom Cruise is one of the few Hollywood actors that you can always bank on to deliver huge box office numbers. But is it time for the Mission Impossible franchise to come to an end? Or is it the production team themselves to blame here for their marketing gimmicks for their recent release? Here's what I loved about the movie and what might be the reason for Dead Reckoning doing not so well at the box office. The movie is based on an advanced artificial intelligence which is activated by a two-piece key in the shape of a cross. The AI is supposed to have achieved sentience, leading to major world threats. Hence, getting back the keys that could control the AI and what Ethan Hunt must do to retrieve this key is what part 1 is all about. The movie itself is not bad in any way. It's way better than most of the action movies we see in Hollywood, especially better than a lot of movies who try and bank on the success of a popular franchise but never offer anything new to the audience. Dead Reckoning never does that. It has plenty of new stuff, action and stunt sequences that make it compelling enough to go to the theaters. Along with the new stuff, it takes a lot of things that went well with first Mission Impossible movies from its early days, the pauses between conversations, bringing back Rebecca, who is not just a female addition in the movie but also a formidable force to reckon with and contributes to the continuation of the movie as well. The supporting cast in this movie felt a lot more organic and better than Tyrese and Ludacris, who play Roman and Tej respectively from FastX, which came across as forced and trying at most times. Whereas Simon Pegg getting frustrated with all the things Tom has to do accounts for some of the most hilarious moments in the screen. Haley Atwell as Grace is another great addition to the movie. The chemistry she has with Tom fits so well and naturally that does not stand out as a sore thumb. Let's be honest with ourselves, no matter how the movie is or what the plot is about, what everyone is banking on is Tom Cruise, and he does not disappoint. You don't see him take any venture casually, not giving it all he has to offer. Seeing 61-year-old Tom Cruise running at the big screen has never been tiring and never will be. He has just perfected the art of running that just feels so aesthetically easy on the eyes. He's still got it in him. He's agile, he's tireless, and boy, the scene everyone was waiting for had audiences at the edge of their seat throughout the jump sequence. Immersed in silence, in awe and admiration of what masterpiece we had on our screen, followed by unanimous applaud that echoed the theaters, full of energy and love for the actor. Isaiah Morales Morales as Gabriel might be the sore thumb for some of the viewers. As being a supposed antagonist of the movie, it does not really come across as intimidating or posing any threat whatsoever. The sentience AI, however, that is referred to as entity in the movie, which does not even have a face, seemed to be more problematic and probing. It could not have been more fitting to have technology as our worst enemy, given how relevant this is to our lives at this point in time. However, I don't think Gabriel is the sole reason for why the numbers aren't looking so great for Dead Reckoning. It could be the production team at fault here, as I mentioned at the start of the video. Tom Cruise performed one of the biggest and dangerous stunts of his life, jumping off a cliff several times. This was supposed to be the peak of the movie, but this scene was already released and circulated in the internet as promo multiple times months before the release of the movie. This trick kinda seemed to have taken away the excitement of watching other stunts and action set pieces in the movie, which by the way are great as well. Be it the car chase sequence or the amazing fight sequence between Ethan and Paris in an alley were choreographed in such a good way. However, just the anticipation of the jump sequence kept creeping in my head, thinking about that instead of enjoying in the moment. And when the scene did come up, I really wanted to spend time in silence with Tom when he jumped off the cliff. But the editing during that part was so inconsistent, it kept cutting back to the scene in the train, which I personally didn't like it very much. Because come on, everyone was there to see Tom's jump, and I don't think anyone would mind seeing the full clip of just him jumping off the cliff and landing. The editing is so fast and choppy, I don't even remember if I saw him properly land. I personally really enjoyed the Halo jump from Fallout much higher than I did with this jump in Dead Reckoning. I mean, maybe it's just cause of such high anticipation and people all over talking about it, but in the movie it just does not spend a lot of time showing that. The train falling off the cliff, however, and the scene that followed where Tom is trying to jump from one carriage to another was something I really enjoyed, as that was something no one saw in the trailers much and no one talked about it much. It kind of surprised me and I liked it. Apart from the overdoing of the promotion bit, I do think Dead Reckoning had misfortunes that were out of its control. Just a week after its release, we had two giant movies, Oppenheimer and Barbie, releasing the same day, creating such a euphoria of Barbenheimer where people were talking about double feature but slowly forgetting Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and that could have definitely led to the downfall of numbers. No matter what the numbers at the box office say, if there's any franchise that should keep going, it is definitely Mission Impossible and John Wick. John Wick is another action movie that I like to see never end, and why I think it's one of the greatest action movies in today's age. I've talked about it in this video, click here to check it out. Let me know what you guys think about the future of Mission Impossible franchise, and if this hit in the box office numbers should affect how the makers view this franchise for the long run. Thanks a lot for watching till the end and see you in the next one.